address, my name is Guy Fisher, and I am the victim's father here. I've heard a lot of people say, don't be upset. Don't let the board see you mad. Don't show your anger. I'm a parent, first and foremost. He is my only child. I don't know how many of you on this board or in the audience that have children, but I think anybody that does have a child and has had to listen to what has taken place and to see the response and lack of response from this school district and the school site would be angry. It is very hard not to be. I've listened now for an hour and a half to the district as well as the principal reciting all these wonderful things that they have in place, how they've responded. Unfortunately, the picture isn't so beautiful. It really is an abstract of the truth. The truth is, yes, we addressed the issue after our car was first, 1 month ago, arsoned to the ground in front of our home. 1 week to the day, our house was egged, our new car was egged, and our trees were TP'd. The egging incident, 3 people from Harper Junior High, students. Because of my son's fear of the events that's taken place on our family, he finally stepped forth and disclosed what was happening. This year is not the first year he's gone through this. He went through it through half of the first 7th grade of last year as well. Yes, I pulled my son out of school because obviously it was not safe. I did address this with the principal, the vice principal. They say that they addressed this problem. Out of 14 students named by my son, 27 statements that my son receives on a daily basis. These statements are vulgar, they're atrocious, they're venomous. They suspend 2 students. They talk to they issue 5 detentions to students. And they talk to the rest, including peripherals. My son and I were told it was safe for him to come back to school. I wanted to believe in our system, our school system, and allowed my son to come back to school. As you heard, Zachary was subjected on Friday, his first day back, immediately, with more remarks. And it didn't stop there. As you heard, it happened on the following Monday as well. During that time, it wasn't one time on Monday. It was throughout the day. It was multiple occurrences. The vice principal happened to walk into a class that Zachary was in. The individual that was saying these things wasn't merely whispering them. He was yelling them across the classroom, and the teacher was present. Unbelievable. They pull the child out and talk for 2 minutes, and the child returns back to class and continues on, and even to the next period where they shared the same class. Intolerable. After learning of these 2 recent incidents, yes, I pulled my son again out of class, or out of school. Obviously, the school had not made it safe for my son to return. They had not addressed this. They had not addressed it appropriately. The comments that I received from administration, from school site level, is enough to infuriate anybody. Get your protesters. Let the district know. I don't care. I'm doing my job. If the district doesn't like it, they can fire me. That sounds like an appropriate response to address an issue. Your son should go to an independent study or transfer to another class or another school. This isn't addressing the issue. This is not fixing the issue. This is running away from it. We addressed this with the school district. We've tried to go through all the appropriate channels. School district wants to put blame back onto the victim. Wants to put blame back onto the parents, me, my first time of bigotry and hatred focused towards me. So I'm overly sensitive, overreacting. My partner, because he's been subjected to it multiple times based off of race as well as sexuality, he's oversensitive from overexposure. So what are we saying? There's a no-win? There's a no middle ground? I have to, let's see, 3 times, 4 times to be exposed, and then it's okay to be upset? I don't get it. There were part of the process here of stating that they were to discuss this in class prior to after Zachary left the second time. It was supposed to be every third period, the entire school at third period, which is their homeroom. Teachers were to discuss this with their students on a one-to-one interactive conversation. I've report from 3 independent students, 2 ninth graders and an 8th grader. 2 of the ninth graders, the discussion lasts approximately 1 minute out of a 44-minute window. The 8th grader, it didn't get discussed at all. This is appropriately the way to handle this? This is being handled to my son's best interest? I don't think so. I've been told my son needs to come back to school. It's safe. I have a letter from his psychiatrist, his psychologist, licensed in the state of California, stating that the school environment is not a place for him at this time because the school district has not, or the school site, have not stepped up and done their job. The school district says, we don't recognize this. He needs to go to either back to school or go into independent study. Since when is it my job to educate my son and remove myself from work because the school district can't take care of their job? Since when does a school district have the empowerment to override a licensed doctor? I don't get it. Part of this resolve that the district has stated, as well as the principal, come to us. We will discuss the issue. If you have another problem, let us know. On top of being able to address the principal, the vice principal, I believe 3 other or 4 other teachers were on the list. One, I would say, definitely would be very supportive. I've heard how he handles his class, and he has a 0 tolerance, and he has virtually no problems in his class. And I commend him for having the courage to be able to do that. Unfortunately, a letter that was sent just yesterday by another instructor, one of which Zachary was told to be able to go talk to, writes a letter and puts it on the internet. This letter, in summary, states this is a statewide and nationwide issue. We can't cure this. We should just tolerate it. This is somebody that he was supposed to be able to go to, a safe zone. I don't get it. I can't help but be angry. I can't help but feel like I have no more choices. That's why we are here. You guys they talked about sending letters out to parents on the listserv. I didn't get one. So what, am I not on that? I'm a parent. I get emails from the teachers. I'm in agreement with Mel Lewis. He is on a half-time position. This is not a half-time problem. This is a full-time problem. There are a lot of things that could be done, and I'm not going to sit here and spew out a list of those things. I think that there are plenty of resources that are available to this board and to this district and to this state. And I think that you have the ability to fix this problem for what we call is a progressive town. Unfortunately, I feel like it's very archaic right now. I thank you for taking the time to put this on the agenda, because this is an important issue, not just because it's Zachary. He's merely the catalyst. This affects every kid in this district, not just for today, not for tomorrow, but for next year, and the year after that, and the year after that, and so on. This is not an issue that's going to go away because we issue a blind eye. Words and deeds, they need to complement one another. Going through the motions merely does not answer the problem.